Hey everybody, welcome to History 501, Historiography. My name's Tony Caldwell. I am going to be your tour guide, facilitator, instructor, and maybe to some of you the most important thing, do grading your papers for the next 10 weeks. I wanted to drop a little video out here to say welcome to the course and welcome to the SNHU Advanced Program for History. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the course and some of the general expectations in this video, but stick around to the end because that's where the important stuff comes in, okay? First off, for this course, it's 10 weeks long. Every week you're going to have a discussion post due. Topics are going to vary every week, and those are all in the syllabus. You can go pull that out and take a look and maybe get to some of the reading. But before we get to discussion posts, let me talk about the reading. There's a lot of it. I'm not going to judge you if you don't read every word and annotate every comma. Understand, we're all busy professionals, we've got families, a lot of stuff going on outside, but there is more reading in this course, and frankly in all the other courses in this program, than you've been used to in your undergrad programs. So, fair warning, when you see a reading posted, yes, I want you to read all of it. No, there's no pop quizzes, so I'm not going to be testing for what's on page 37. But you need to understand, there's a lot of it, and you need to understand it all in the next 10 weeks to be successful with the rest of your program. So, discussion post. Like I said, there's one every week. Your initial post is due by midnight Eastern time every Thursday. So if you're further to the west, adjust your schedules as you need to understand and get to where you need to be. In those initial discussion posts, you're going to be asked very specific questions from the readings. You need to use Chicago-style annotations for all of your footnotes in those discussion posts. You may not be used to the Chicago style. I understand, I get it. There's a link in the course material to where you can find the correct version that SNHU uses. That's what you need to be using. You don't have to put a bibliography in, but you do have to have footnotes. That's for your initial post. You need to respond to at least 2 of your peers every week. So it's your post plus 2 responses to different peers. You should also be using the readings to form those responses. And again, anytime you use something from a reading or any other source, cite it correctly. Okay? There's 3 milestones and a final submission in this course. So, just real quick, your topic for the final historiographical essay is due in week 2. You're going to need to tell me what your topic is and justify why you want to do that topic. Week 4, we're going to be turning in our thesis statements and an annotated bibliography. Again, the thesis statement is not what you're used to writing. There will be a couple of announcements in week 4 explaining what I'm expecting and what you're required to do. The annotated bibliography may also be a little different than what you're used to. We'll have some announcements talking about that as well. Week 7, you've got a rough draft. So that's in week 7. Week 9 is your final submission. That's the historiographical essay. And that's kind of what I want to spend some time on here. So the next couple of minutes are going to be important to your success in this class. A historiographical essay is not a research paper. It's not a history paper. What you've done in your undergraduate work, or maybe even in high school, is not what you're doing in this program. This course and almost every other course in the master's program here at SNHU is going to require a historiographical essay. So you need to be prepared for that. They're very different. A traditional research paper, you look at primary sources about what is going, what actually happened at that event. Here you're looking at secondary sources. Those are works from other historians and how you're going to compare it. You're going to use those books and articles that are scholarly sources. And there'll be an announcement coming about that as well. These folks have already covered the topic. So you're going to be looking to say, what did the historians say about this event? How did they compare and contrast from different viewpoints? Historian A looked at this event through an economic lens. Historian B saw it through a social lens. Historian C saw it through a cultural lens. All of those things. And typically, you haven't done those. So it's going to take a little bit of rewiring your brain when it thinks about history in order to get there with these papers. We'll get you there through the next 10 weeks. But turning in what you're used to turning in isn't going to be your route to success over the next 10 weeks. And I get it. That's a lot in the last 6 minutes or so. We're going to have a lot of announcements, especially early in the course, about the expectations of the class, what I'm looking for in discussion posts, what I look for when I grade papers. And we're going to dive deep into what a historiographical essay really is. Okay? If you've got any questions, I'm happy for you to reach out to me. m.caldwell@snhu.edu. That's m.caldwell@snhu.edu. I'm excited about the next 10 weeks. I'm happy to see all the new learning that you're going to come up with. And frankly, I love seeing the new ideas that people draw from the readings that, frankly, I missed when I read it. So, looking forward to it. And got any questions, reach out. I'm glad you're taking part of the course this term.